So what if I told you that what most people think is love is actually not love? It's something else. In the next few minutes, allow me to show you what I mean. First, we have to understand the process and stages of how most people think they fall in love. And it all starts with attraction. Attraction is when someone starts to stand out. You start to notice them. You can get attracted to them because of the way they look or the way they make you feel. Attraction could be physical, it could be intellectual, it could even be spiritual. But whatever it is, it always starts with attraction. Now, if the attraction persists, it moves on to the next stage, which is flirting, or the reinforcement stage. Flirting is putting an action to the attraction. Flirting could be actual or imaginary. Actual meaning you start to do things to make that person feel that you like them, and you're also testing the waters, you're fishing for responses. But it could also be imaginary, meaning you could just be imagining that you're beside the person, you're hugging the person, you're always with the person. But in both cases, actual or imaginary, they have the same effect on you. It reinforces your attraction. And if attraction gets reinforced enough, then it moves to the next stage, which is emotional attachment. This is when you start to long for the person. You want to be with them always. You keep on thinking about them. And at this stage, you go all in on your emotion. And this is the stage where most people think they fall in love. When two people become emotionally attached to each other, then they decide to get into a relationship. Now, there's nothing special about these 4 stages. It's exactly the same process you go through when you choose a cell phone. You start with attraction, you like a certain phone, then you start to flirt with it, you go to the store and look at it, then eventually you get emotionally attached to it, and then you buy it, which is the relationship. Now let's get back to the 3rd stage, which is emotional attachment. This is what most people confuse with love. When people say they are in love, they usually mean they are emotionally attached to each other. Now, is emotional attachment really love? If emotional attachment is not love, then what is love, and where is love in these 4 stages? The Bible gives us a description of love in 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. This description is very far from the emotional attachment that most people feel that love is. Did you know that emotional attachment can fade as early as 6 months into the relationship? And so, since most people confuse emotional attachment with love, when this happens, they think they are falling out of love, when in reality, they are just losing their emotional attachment to that person. Now let's look at the 4 stages and the biblical description of love according to 1 Corinthians 13. And let's relate them to one another. Did you know that you can go through all these 4 stages without loving the person? So let's give an example. Let's say there's a guy who is attracted to a woman who is married to another man. If that guy really loves the woman, he should correct that attraction and not let it progress into flirting, emotional attachment, or especially into a relationship. If he pursues the attraction, it will destroy the woman, her integrity, her family, and that is not love. That is called selfishness. You always hear people say that love is the reason they get into a relationship or they pursue a relationship. But I'm telling you now that sometimes love is the reason you don't get into a relationship or you don't pursue it. Love is the reason you don't flirt with that person. Love is the reason that you don't get emotionally attached to that person. And love is the reason you don't get into a relationship with that person. It also means that sometimes you can love someone without being in a relationship with them. True love is pure and it is not emotional attachment. So as you look at your relationships today, I want you to think about this. Is it really love or is it just emotional attachment?